Hello, everybody. Welcome to
AVANT TV
on True Vision Television. My name is Janet Marcos. I'll be your hostess for today. And I have Mr. TCHIDI Chikere, who is a multi-talented actor, producer, and director. We're happy to have you here, sir.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right. So let's just dive into the questions we have for you today. Well, you were one of the early birds in Nigeria film industry. Can you please share with us what the journey has been so far, right from when you started?
You want me to write a novel then?
Not really. Just you.
Well, I truly do not consider myself as one of the early birds.
Oh, okay.
But I came in along the way. There are the early birds, the TCHIDI, the Zebejiros, the Fred Amatas, the Patrick Dolls, who were there, the Kepi Ekpeyong and the rest of them who were there before we came on board. And we came to meet them, and they were encouraging. They gave us the springboard that we needed to jump. And I would say that, like every other journey that one embarks on, especially in the course of pursuing a beloved career, it has been good. It has been challenging, but the challenges have been exciting because each challenge that you surmount gives you more leverage and more hope that you can do better, you can do more. So the challenges are encouraging at the end of the day. You know what they say, you turn your stumbling blocks into stepping stones. So I wouldn't want to go into detail with the challenges, but there have been challenges here and there. And there have been the good, the bad, the ugly. For instance, when we started in Nollywood, the outputting basically was via the VHS tapes. And after some years, we moved on to the VCD discs,
okay,
and then the DVD, until what it is today, where output is basically virtual. So you hardly find DVDs or VCDs of movies anymore. They become virtual files, which for me is good in a way because some movies I did years ago, some of them actually lost because we can't find them anymore. There's this particular movie called Two Together that I did years ago with Genevieve and Emeka Ike. I have a huge fan base of people asking for that movie, and we try to find it. We send that messages everywhere. Does anyone still have a copy? I got someone responded from Italy and said, "Oh, I still have a copy. I'm gonna send it to you." She actually did send it to me.
Wow.
And when I tried to play it, it was all cracked. It couldn't play, which has made me go and redo that movie. I just reshot another Two Together this time around with Wale Ojo and Ruth Kadiri and Ekelon, by the way. So basically, the challenges have given us room for improvements. The challenges have also given room for technology to chart the way. So from, like I said, from outputting, we also talk about medium of making the movies. Then we were filming on the U-matic camera, from U-matic camera to the VHS camera, from the VHS camera to the Super DV cam, to the P2, and now red digital cameras, black magic pocket cameras. Then we started from 1K resolution. This is too much technical, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to take you into all that. But now we're shooting on 8K resolution, which is what they're doing everywhere in the world. So we can actually compete. Our picture quality is much better than ever. You know, the acting ProRes, the people are more serious. I mean, they were serious all the while, but then you couldn't really find career actors that this is all I do for a living, just act movies. But now you have people who all they do is just act, their career actors. You understand? for instance, when you go to a place like Ghana, uh, and you try to film, even in the UK, you're trying to make a Nigerian movie in the UK, the artists come, they tell you, I can only come on Monday, on Friday, because I'm working on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because they're not career actors. You get what I'm saying? Same happens in Ghana. In Sierra Leone, I experienced the same thing. But in Nigeria, you have career artists now that's all they do for them because it actually pays their bills. So we have come a long way. The journey has been exciting. Like I said, if me take you through my journey, I've been making movies for 22 years.
Wow.
For me take you through my career, we'll be writing an encyclopedia. So I hope what I've said so far has answered the question.
Yes, and very impressive works at that. So we are aware that you act, you produce, you direct, and I'm aware that you had a stint with music. One of your albums titled Slaps and Kisses. How do you juggle all of them together?
Yesterday I was reading something on psychology and how the human brain is wired, and I say the human brain is not wired to multitask. But that what matters is how you're able to switch. So you're not doing everything at once, but it's the rapidity, the expertise, how you're able to master the art of switching. When you do this, you put it aside and you concentrate so that you focus on everyone. So I've been able to give every endeavor, every talent that I have, I've been able to give it the right amount of focus that it requires at the time that I'm doing that. So if I'm doing music, I give it all the focus that is required. When I'm done with that, I switch to the movie and I'm acting. I give it all the focus that is required. I've actually won a lot of nominations for acting, even right here in the United States. There's a movie I did in Maryland some years ago called When Heaven Smiles. I got nomination for Best Diaspora Supporting Lead Role. There's another one that I did in Atlanta, Georgia. It's called Paparazzi, I in the Dark. I got a nomination for it as well, for supporting lead role. I won awards here in Raleigh, North Carolina for Best Director. I won the ARIC sponsor the Best Writer Award here. I won awards for Best Director in Nigeria. So I haven't won any music though. So basically, and Slaps and Kisses is my last song though. I did a song in 2018 called Emotions.
Okay.
I filmed the video all over. I filmed in the UK, I filmed in the US, I filmed in Nigeria, I filmed in Ghana, and all that the video. So basically, going back to your question, how am I able to handle all this? It's just being able to focus on each one at a time. So that is the secret. If you want to be a writer, producer, director, actor, when you're writing, by all means, you need to focus on writing and realize that at this point in time, for this 3 hours that I'm writing, I'm just a writer. So you give it all that you have. And then when you're done with acting, you're directing, you say, okay, for this time I'm directing, I'm just a director. So you focus on directing, and the same goes for acting and every other thing. So if you're able to switch your focus to give each one the required amount of focus, then you will excel in it, or at least you do it above average.
Oh, that's very nice. Wonderful. Well, we hope you win awards for your music very soon. Cheering for you. All right. So your
It's
movie.
actually something that I love to do. It's something I do it's like a hobby for me.
Oh, that's very nice.
I write songs. Yeah, I'll tell you something. When I produced Pastor Jumbo for Globalcom, we're trying to do the soundtrack for Pastor Jumbo, and a lot of singers were bringing in their songs, musicians, writers, and all that. And because that was a show I created, I started writing.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I started composing a song for it, and I voiced it into my phone, and I sent it to Flavor. And Flavor took it to the studio. with his producer, Mastercraft. And when they came back with it, it was a bomb. You understand? So it was so good that Flavor was taking it to shows. He would go to shows that perform that Professor Mburu's soundtrack. You know, I don't know if you're Igbo, that Professor Tupema Zenofe and Tim Ella actually wrote it. You understand? Yeah. Yeah, and it was good. And Flavor like, see, this song is, everybody loves it. You know, and that was it, because at the time I was writing it, I gave it my attention. Do you understand? Even though it's something I do for leisure, it's not something I take as a career. You know, I don't think I want to be a career musician and career singer. You know how you know that, you know what, I love to do this, let me just do it. And then you take pleasure in doing it. You find it pleasurable, and it helps to relax you. That's how I saw music is something that I play with. I thought it's not something I take too seriously, but who knows? I might do something that I don't take seriously and it catches on again.
Oh, all right then. Thank you so much. Well, your movies are quite unique and very different from others. They are not the regular boy meets girl kind of movie, poverty, rituals, and the rest. So there's always a very good angle to your movies. And we are never able to predict what next or what is going to happen next in your movies, and that's very unique, unlike the regular ones which we watch. So how are you able to make something different each time you produce a movie?
That is a question I would love to ask, you know, my maker who gave me the talent. I would want to ask you that question. How do you make me create a story? I think that basically I like to take, there's something called verisimilitude in creativity.
Okay.
When you're creating from what is around you, you know, the raw material of every creative person is the world he sees, the world he can imagine, the world he has heard about, or the world the world he can imagine, the world he has heard about, the world he sees. So it's basically the present, the past, the future. The future is what you imagine. You say ideals. The present is your environment and what you've heard about, what you see. And then the past is what you've heard about. And then what you heard about can also translate to what you've heard happen to other people. You don't have to experience it. But you know, experience is not always physical.
Yeah.
You can experience something by hearing about it. You can experience something by thinking deeply about it and then feeling it. So every writer has a more, should I say, accentuated awareness of his environment.
Mm.
So yeah. So when you take this into consideration when you're creating a story or a movie, you realize that things don't always move in a straight line. 1+1 is not always 2. The villain doesn't always get punished. The innocent don't always win. Life is absurd, sort of.
Mm.
Do you understand? Yeah. So and that's it. I just try to be as true to life as possible while setting ideals, while passing my message. So at the beginning of every story, every movie, I have something that I want to achieve. I have a message that I want to pass across.
Mm.
And my viewers, my audience, they have emotions. What do I want them to do while watching this movie? Do I want them to cry? Do I want them to laugh? Do I want them to empathize with my lead role? Do I want them to um do I want them to atrophy the feeling of empathy? What do I want them to do? How do I want them to react? So when I create these characters, they become like mini gods because they direct me. I let the characters that I create take lead. I let them lead me. So if I create, what's your name?
Janet.
If I create a Janet in a movie, Janet becomes my boss. So I let Janet lead me. Who
Mm-hmm.
is Janet? Janet tells me who she is. How do I react? If someone slaps me and Amaka screams, Janet says, no, I don't scream when I'm slapped.
Mm.
I sit inside. I plan my revenge. I don't talk. That's Janet. Then I'm creating their mom, who is a drunk. Then I'm creating a reason because people will want to know, why is their mom a drunk? Is she dealing with grief? Is she dealing with, what is she dealing with? What is the root cause?
Mm.
You understand? Does
Yes.
this person have ego? You know what they say? A lot of people who have ego are functioning from a place of fear,
True.
and every fear has a root cause. So a lot of proud people are scared of something from their past or something they've been through.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you're doing when you go delve deeper into your creativity, you're doing a psychoanalysis of your characters psychologically, you're analyzing them, you're letting them respond like human beings who have psychology. You're looking at their cognitive realities, their behavioral realities, their humanistic realities. What are the things that are put into this character that makes them achieve their maximum potential? And so that the viewer who watches this begins to realize that I too can achieve my maximum potential. So you create deeper stories beyond the area the market kind of stories input.
Sure.
So you as a creative person, if you think that you have this correct amount of raw material deposited by the creator, right, so to speak, you will go deeper into yourself to bring it out what you have. You can be superficial and be a creative person.
Mm.
You
Very
need
true.
to challenge yourself to be deep.
I agree. I agree.
I don't know if you understand all the jargon I'm speaking.
No, I get you. I understand what you're trying to say. It's quite well, everybody has their own way, their own perspective of how they see things. So yes, we're just getting to know you better, so we get to understand how you work exactly. Okay, let's go down to there has been issues going around the hush tales of sex for roles in the movie industry. As a major player, what is the actual position?
I think that I think it's I think it's overflowed.
Okay.
I don't see any producer that is what he sold or what is on you casting a wrong person in a role because of sex. Because first of all, as a producer, you're a producer and you're a businessman, right? You want to sell your movie and you
Yes.
want people to buy your movie, right? And then you give the wrong person the lead role and stake because most producers actually produce with their own money. It's out of pocket. Once in a while, you might get a grant, but 99% of producers produce with their own funds or investors' funds,
Okay.
right? So I'm not making excuses for anybody, but I think that a lot of people who um who said everybody who can act, most girls who can act will say, oh, they didn't give me a role because they wanted to sleep with me.
Yeah.
And then the men who can act, I wonder what they'll be saying as well. Maybe they also wanted to sleep with them.
Mm.
Because a producer who finds a good talent will stay there because he wants to keep his career going. He wants to make money. He wants to win awards. Only two penny producers that would be responsible for that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm saying it's not peculiar to Nollywood alone. It happens in every industry. It takes a refuser to refuse or an agreeer to agree to it. So I said, as an actor, as an actor, an actor will be male or female. You knows what he's doing. You know your own. You know what you're bringing on the table, and you continually give what you have, give your best. And any producer what his onion would ask you for sex before giving you a role. So it's mostly girls or men that are desperate and they don't have the talent that fall victim to that. And it's mostly to two penny producers. Do you understand? I
Yeah.
don't think any producer that is what is a big producer that is trying to sell his movie in the cinema, trying to sell in Netflix, will go bring some girl on the street who has nothing to accept, you know what I mean, and then put her in the lead role or give her a role in the movie and spoil your own work.
That's
So it is an issue, but I don't think it's on a large scale, no.
all right. So it is said that among other value additions like job creation, the industry has played a very major role in showcasing our rich culture way of life. Would you say that these assumptions are true of Nollywood?
Of course, it's very true.
Okay.
I mean, why are Nollywood people not all over the world? It's not just because of entertainment. It's also the fact that they are being the light positively on Nigeria. I mean, I once did an interview in Germany, with a local press, and I told a local newspaper where I told them that Nollywood is the most effective Minister of Internal Affairs that Nigeria has. The Minister of External Affairs and Cultural Ambassador that Nigeria has. You know, a friend of mine who's African American would always tell me, why do they ship so many cars to Africa? I hear you guys don't have roads. I say, yeah, we live in branches. We swing them from tree to tree. He started laughing. So I put a Nollywood movie for him. I put a Nollywood movie for him, and he saw like, wow, you have houses. Oh my God, you have parks. So, oh my God, it's just like America. You have street signs. I'm like, do you understand?
Yeah.
So the movies have been able to show the world that Africans, Nigerians, can be bank managers.
Mm.
African Nigerians can live in big houses, drive big cars. You can have them as accountants in Nigeria. You have psychiatrists in Nigeria. You have internet security experts in Nigeria. So they've been able to showcase Nigeria from a career point of view, Nigeria from a cultural point of view,
okay,
from and as an urbanized setting, a metro point of view. Okay. So you see, the Africans can do this job. Africans can live in this kind of houses. Africans can dress like this. This is what they wear. This is how they dress. They look good in suit. They look good in agbada. They look good in kaftan. They look good in French suits and tuxedo and all that. You get to see that Africans marry wives, and this is how they live in their families. You understand? So it's just like when you watch Vikings. Vikings takes you on a journey into the Viking culture.
Okay.
How they marry, how they love, how they divorce, how they fall out of love, how they bury people, how they treat disputes, how they resolve disputes, and all that. It's the same thing that Nollywood has done for Nigeria and Africa, vis-a-vis the world outlook. You're able to see how we do our thing, basically how we live as a people.
Yes.
And that there's dignity in that. And these are the things that make us a people, and these are the things that make us stand out. And these are the things that make us command respect.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, I have another question for you. In what ways or areas do you think the government should intervene to boost the industry?
I get asked this question oftentimes, and I always say that the government won't give you money to make movies. The government can only create an environment that makes it easy for you to thrive as a filmmaker. In terms of security, in terms of providing amenities, in terms of amenities like light and good roads.
Yeah.
Security. I went to film once, way up in the north. I won't say the state.
Okay.
I couldn't sleep in my hotel room that night. Well, way beyond Abuja, I won't say the place, so they won't start saying I'm talking down on any state. But I couldn't sleep in my room that night. I kept imagining, what if something happened? What if fight breaks out? What is, maybe I overreacted. But the next morning I woke up as I'm leaving. Who was scheduled to meet the governor of the state. I said, no, I'm going. And if as a director left, they all left. I said, I have to shoot it somewhere where I feel safe. I don't want to go out and be looking over my shoulder. Because of the security situation that we all know is going on in Nigeria. So we left. Do you understand? But imagine if there was security, adequate security all over Nigeria. We would film in that place. And we will eat in that place. We will lodge in that place. We're bringing money to that state, right? Because our food, we're buying from the food vendors, we're patronizing the person selling water, we're patronizing the person selling ice cream, we're patronizing the hotel owner, we're patronizing the local talents in that place. So they will become big actors and actresses tomorrow because we filmed them.
Yes.
But because of the issue of security, we left. Those are the areas where the government can come in. Now, you're making an average Nigerian movie in Lagos, and it's 7 p.m. and NEPA takes light. There's a blackout. All the generators on the street come on. How do you think my sound will be for the movie? You see how we're talking now? I'm clear. I'm in the US, right?
Exactly.
There's no generators. right?
Yes.
If I was in Lagos, you'd be hearing, do you understand? So the sound man, the first sound man that I have on set is struggling to control his sound. He's switching all over, trying to get good audio. And then people come and say, Nigerian movies, the audio is not good. I say, yes, it's difficult to have good audio in Nigeria. You take triple the time to get good audio. And after that, you still take your audio for treatment. You start cleaning it up, reducing sound, street sound, you know. Then you're filming on the street. Area boys we can't film in Lagos on the streets. The area boys will come asking for money. They come in groups. You pay the first group, they go, they bring the second group. They tell them that people filming there, they paid us, please don't collect your own. The second group comes, different set of people. I've filmed in communities in Lagos where they come with cutlasses and guns and chase us out because they want money. They want you to pay 500,000 to shoot one scene in their community. Yes. So those are the areas where the government can come in. Those are the areas. But if you say, oh, what can the government do? Like, okay, come and take 200 million and make a movie. No, except you're doing a documentary for the government, they're bankrolling it.
Very true.
Or making funds available through the Bank of Industry, which is a different issue again in terms of knowing the right people to give that fund to.
All right.
You understand? And then are there access to grants to make movies? Are there access to grants? What is the assurance that these grants will be utilized properly? Someone will not take this grant and not build the house in his village. You understand? So there are a lot of issues that come with government getting involved in terms of funding. So, but if the government can make the environment conducive for creativity, for entertainment, right? You make a movie in Lagos or in Nigeria, a cinema movie, you pay VAT on your money. When they say, oh, your movie has made 100 million in the cinema, how much is the producer getting? The producer pays VAT 7.8%, 7.5%. On the same movie, he pays withholding tax, 10%. On the same movie, he pays entertainment tax. On the same movie, his distributor takes 10%. So your movie is 100 million, you're going with 30 million naira. People are saying, oh, the movie made 100 million. Where's the money?
That's a lot.
Do you understand? So the other time, Lai Mohammed said, oh, we're going to remove entertainment tax. He said it. It wasn't done. We're still paying entertainment tax. Do you get what I'm saying? So these are the areas where the government can come in to make the environment more conducive. It's only when you have a conducive environment that even the government can start making grants available and making banks like Bank of Industry give money to filmmakers and actually be sure that they'll get that money back.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And we are glad you had the chance or the opportunity to come on our show. Really appreciate your effort and your patience with us. Well, hopefully we get to see you physically very soon. Thank you so much.
Great.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks
for having me.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This is the AVANT TV on True Vision Television. I remain your hostess, Janet Marcus, and see you next time. Bye.